Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast.
Ken turned on me this morning.
Did he?
He did. He turned
What did he
on
say?
me.
What did he
You
say?
see, yesterday I asked him to make me burn me a CD.
Burn your CD,
Make
yes.
a copy of a CD, which he did.
Did he?
Well, yes, he
it's
did.
not like
indeed.
him to be cooperative.
Oh, yes, he is. Yeah. And so today I thought, well, it's a lovely morning. It's a nice morning. I'll try Ken again. And I said, Ken, I need another CD burnt.
Ah, mistake.
That's what he said.
What did he say? Exactly.
He says, I explained to him, I said, I can't get into my machine. And neither can I. He says, neither can I. I have more to do than burn CDs.
Oh, more to do than burn CD.
I said, sorry, Ken. Sorry. As he chucked a hammer at me.
As he threw a hammer at you?
Well, he chucked it in my
Is that
direction.
not a sackable offence, throwing a...
Well, he said, here,
a
catch
carpentry
that.
tool at a
No, he
presenter?
said, catch that. I was talking to him in his workshop.
catch that.
And he said, here, catch that.
Do you know why he did that? Because he secretly hoped that it would hit you, because he knows how clumsy you are. And if he said, oh, catch that, so what he's doing is throwing a hammer at you. Because if you go up and say, he threw a hammer at me, it's a sackable offence in the BBC, especially hammers, hatchets, or indeed chisels, thrown at presenters. But if he said, I threw it to him and I said, catch, look, the girls heard it. But did he throw it very hard?
Not really. He lobbed it.
Morning, donkey legs.
What about the work I did for you this morning? Not a word about that.
What work is that? I can't remember any work you did for me this morning. Yeah, you took my blind down.
I took your blind.
This is now the first day of spring.
Yes.
You see, what has happened upstairs, you see, we live like moles.
We have
upstairs.
4 windows and we have 2 blinds for the 4 windows.
Right, so we had to make a decision somewhere around about last August, wasn't it? See, I have a window beside where I live, and the sun comes in and it makes my skin bad. So we decided to we pulled the blind down last September, and it's been dark ever since. We decided to open it today, so we took it off, and I don't like it. There's far too much light coming in. I don't like it because you can see the reflection of my, face. I don't like it.
Imagine having 4 windows and only 2 blinds.
Well, you see, BBC cuts.
And we share them. Which, that's true.
Well,
it's part of the cuts. We share the
25%
blinds.
cuts, swinging cuts. Morning, donkey legs. Have you ever been in Benidorm? Have you ever been in Benidorm?
I think so.
I don't think I've been there. No, I don't think so. Thank God.
Where's Benidorm?
Benidorm's in Spain, Sean.
I know, but no. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking on the place where
Everybody from Northern Ireland goes?
No, what a place.
What's the place when everybody from Northern Ireland goes?
No, what do you call the place?
Ballygomartin, whatever you call it. No, not
Starts with a B.
Ballygomartin.
Starts with a B.
Anyway, 3 cheers for Willie Gregg. Willie Gregg was on the phone yesterday doing very wonderful work in Thailand. Forget it, Sean. It's all right. It's okay.
Determined to get it.
That's all right. I'll turn off your mic and you can
No,
Sorry.
we pronounce it wrongly.
Do we?
No,
Vigo?
Ballamadina.
Bellamadina.
There you see.
No, we think it's Ballerina.
No,
Which
it's
is a small...
It's Bellamadina.
Bellamadina. We call it Bellamadina.
We call it Bellamadina.
Bellamadina.
The phone's ringing.
Great.
Emma's on the job.
3 cheers. Is she? Three cheers for Willie Gregg. That's a very unselfish and compassionate attitude in a selfish world. God bless him. Willie Gregg is a saint, I have to say that, and he's doing wonderful work there in Thailand. Can I buy that song, Paddy Maguire, on iTunes? I don't know. Hello, folks. Love the programme. Why is the signal on digital not as good as other BBC stations? Because it's discrimination, that's why.
I went walking. I was out last night.
How unusual is that?
I turned the television
You look
off.
in people's windows?
I did. I turned the television
See anything
off.
interesting?
No, not a thing.
Are people pulling their blinds now that the weather's good? I hate when they pull their blinds. You can't see
No, they're
them.
not really.
Do you watch in the windows at people watching television?
Yeah.
Do they ever catch you?
I don't care.
How you do?
I mean, no, if someone's got...
How would you like to be watching TV and you looked out and there's a man looking in your window?
Well, if you're walking past and you look in, there's
No,
nothing
but they
wrong with
know
that.
when you're looking at them.
No,
You're walking past, you're looking in, they look out and they see you because you turn your head away, don't you?
Yes.
When they look. But see, they see you turn your head away like
Yeah,
that.
but
They
it's
know
all
you've
right.
been watching.
But then they should pull their shades
There's
down.
a thing that I do that I can't talk about.
What?
I can't tell you. It's a thing that I do that I'm ashamed of.
It's
in that area.
Looking in windows.
Yes, it's in that area. I can't talk about it. I really can't talk about it, but I just admit it to you because I feel better now that I've said that I do it. I do it. Emma, look away. No, it's something I do. It's not criminal or anything, not seedy.
Well, I don't think what I do is wrong. I mean, if you're
I do.
walking,
I
if
think
you're
it's wrong.
walking
You're
along,
an invasion of people's privacy.
it's not. If you're walking along a street,
Yeah, and looking and somebody's in watching television, and you look in their window, and they look round, and they see, and you
what's
turn your
wrong
head
with that?
away.
If they've got their blinds up in the darkness, and you look in, and then you okay.
No, they're worried in case you might come back.
Yeah, but you're not doing it.
You're looking in their windows.
I tell you what I look in at.
You shouldn't be out in your road
I
anyway.
look in at
If you had
their-
a dog, you wouldn't be so suspicious. I've seen you out, you're very suspicious looking. You're walking along and you've got that odd walk and you're looking in people's windows, climbing over people's walls, looking at their roses.
No, I look...
Looking at their kennels, feeling their hedges.
I'd like to see what they're watching on television. I look at their television sets. That's all I do, to see what they're watching.
Ah, but they don't know that. They think you're looking in at them.
No,
you should have a sign saying, TV census, TV census. Don't be alarmed if you catch me looking in your window. I'm just checking what you're watching. Well, what were people watching last night? What time are you out at?
Well, I left home at around 20 minutes to 9.
Uh-huh. Well,
Right.
it looks as if they'd be watching Spotlight. It was
And
up
I
9
said
o'clock.
to myself, I'll walk now. I walk for an hour and a half. You see?
Yeah, well, that's...
Because...
I bet you everybody was watching Spotlight.
Well, I don't know. You
Well,
see,
you said you were watching what they were watching. That's what they were watching,
I
but that's what was
couldn't
on.
see what they were watching because you just see a face or you see... I look to see if they're watching sport.
You should ask them if you can come in.
No, I look to see if they're watching sport.
Well,
That's
see, they
all.
weren't watching sport
No,
last
there's no
night.
sport on.
No.
But anyway,
Yes.
I planned my night to see this particular TV program, which was on at 10:30. Right?
Oh, well, what was it, by the way?
You see.
Malky Kush?
And so I was ready for it, and I came home at around 20 past 10.
What do you call your woman that's on with Malky Kush in that programme on UTV at 7:30? What do you call her?
And Tina Turner.
I saw her.
Tina,
I met her in Malacca the other day. She's a very attractive girl.
little Tina. She's nice
And,
with her.
She's lovely. She's
Her
beautiful.
alone. It's a married woman.
I know, I'm just saying she's a lovely woman.
Okay, that's
And
all right.
Emma's raging. No, Emma's jealous. And but Malachi's mouth, something wrong with Al Malachi's mouth.
What?
It's just-
Gum shield?
No, it's whatever he's doing with it. He thinks he's doing something with it. He shouldn't do it. He never used to do it before. Do you know when you do something in your mouth, you think it's good? Do you know if I do that?
But that's because I told you it before. You're doing that because
I'm not doing it.
because of an old age.
I'm not doing
It's
it.
a habit you
It's not a habit. I just
Old
did it there
men
now.
and women develop a habit with their tongue when they get old.
I'm not doing that. There's a tooth sticking into me gum here, and it's like a knife. And
Normally where they are.
no, it's sticking into the side of my cheek, and I'm trying to. I do that. You see, I'm trying to. Stop, man. And I've got an appointment with the dentist next week to get it done. Dear Lycra Pants,
Anyway,
you were talking about crap comedy
the
on
film
radio.
I wanted to see that I was looking forward to was the Ricky Gervais show.
The Ricky Gervais show. Is that the cartoon thing?
It's dreadful.
I don't know it is.
It
Yeah.
really is. I lasted, I would say, possibly 3 minutes. So
Would you say
so
that our cartoon thing is better?
Oh,
Is that
much
what you're
better.
saying?
Oh, much
You have
better.
to be very careful when you praise yourself. That's why I was careful about bringing it up.
But and then I turned over to The White Van Man. Sweetheart of all that's holy. So that...
Today be called our message to and fro.
So
Yes.
I reached for the remote control
And turned everything off.
Turned everything
Dear
off.
Lycra Pants, you're talking about... Sorry to interrupt you there, Sean, but I know where this
I'm
is
reading
going.
the book on... I'm reading your book. I'm reading 2 books at once.
What book are you reading of mine?
The book that you loaned me.
Did you not read that before?
No. Your book. The
What book? Which book? My book that I wrote.
Savage Scene.
That didn't write that. Woohoo!
That's Emma running past. I didn't
So
say
easily
you.
get excited.
It belongs to you.
It's my book, yeah.
Yes, it's still your book.
Dear Lycra
So I
Pants.
put it down, I
Will
read
you
it.
shut up a minute? You were talking about crap comedy on Radio 4, and much as I hate to agree with anyone, you're right. But even worse is the dumbing down syndrome. Now there's a Radio 4 comedy quiz program on Mondays. Oh, I didn't know that. Pitting the wits of lecturers and students from various universities. We all turned out to be equally stupid. I'm so sorry, I mean equally differently clever. Katrina would have been so proud. Even better. What he's looking grammar schools. What are you looking at grammar schools for? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
He's in.
Who's in? Oh, I see him. Better play a record in case he comes in. What's this lady's name?
It's
Mrs.
Mrs.
Park.
Parks.
Mrs. Parks. Okay, Mrs. Parks. Sorry you had to hear that.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're
Okay,
fine.
carry on with what you were saying.
I enjoy the banter.
Thank you. What do you think of my mixes?
I think they're grand.
Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with them.
No, there's nothing wrong with them. You're
And
absolutely
I
right.
do love your show.
Thank you very much. There's not much content in it, but whatever it is lovingly put together.
But there's good banter and good fun, and that's what we all need.
And a lot of heart.
A
I've
lot
always
of
thought.
heart and true feeling.
Yes, indeed. No, that Hugo stuff.
No.
Well, how are you today anyway?
I am fine.
Good.
I am fine.
Good.
I'm sitting looking out at the sunshine.
It's rarely we can do this. The weather forecaster says it's going to clear up even here.
Well, I hope that is true.
Well, is there anything I can do for you today of a concrete nature?
Yes, there
Yes.
is, Jerry. stripping the tile off the kitchen. We're getting the kitchen revamped.
Great.
And other than using a sander, I would like to know how to remove the paste off the walls.
I'll hand you over to the oracle for that.
What?
Tell her how to do that.
How to do what?
You're not listening?
Take the tiles, what?
Oh no, take the white paste off the walls after you've removed the tile instead of using a sander.
You know all that stuff.
No, it sounds. I don't know. It sounds to me like a wire brush or very coarse sandpaper. But I don't know. But that sounds.
See, that creates dust.
Yeah,
That's
it sounds.
my
Well,
problem.
see, anything's going to create unless you.
I would just leave them for a moment, talking about the dust and the scraping brush from the stuff that's left over when they take the piles off the. Sorry, the tiles. I didn't mean to say piles. The tiles from the toilet wall.
Well, or chip them off. You could chip them.
That's a good idea. Chip them
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
Sean.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, great.
Well, you see, you could be lifting big hunks out of the plaster, which would mean we would have to get it off.
Well, have you?
We don't want big hunks out of the plaster because that tends to ruin the wall. And sometimes when you take your tiles down, you find that you have a belly on your wall. That's a plastering term.
Who's taking the tiles off, Mrs. Parks? Have you a tradesman in?
Oh no. My
Who's
husband-
doing? Your
my
husband?
husband is.
No, not for no. Get a tradesman.
Can I ask you, Mrs. Parks, is your husband a working man? Is he retired at all? Or is he at home all the time, unemployed or whatever?
Tired.
He's retired.
Semi.
See, don't let him do anything like that. Send him down to the library. Don't let him do anything like that. You'll ruin your bathroom.
He would go fishing.
Well, send him fishing.
No, I think Mrs. Parks, you'd be as well getting a man in.
Their husband will be pleased to hear that.
No, but you know, if
And
you're
a professional man.
yes, a man, a
real
tailor.
man.
Get a tailor.
Yeah, but a tailor won't come in unless this is all done.
A cheeky brute.
Little cheeky monkey. Cheeky monkey.
That's
Do you know what I have to laugh at as well? Did you ever notice, Jerry, when you're and Mrs. Parks, if you're ordering carpet, you have to take everything out of the room.
Yes, exactly.
The boy won't come in and put the carpet down. Gone are the days when the man would come in and give you a hand to move your dressing table or do something, give you a hand.
Do you know what carpet fitters are now? Pussies. They're
What's
pussies.
all that about?
It's just they don't care anymore. They won't move anything. They won't even move your bed.
No.
For God's sake, or your sofa or nothing.
They like everything simple and
I know.
straightforward.
What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. The world's gone to rack and ruin. Right then, Mrs. Parks. Has he told you everything he needs to know? Has he told you everything he knows about scumbling?
But wait a minute, Mrs. Parks. No, it's just important I ask Mrs. Parks that. Are you saying to me now that you've tried to get a tailor and to tile your kitchen, and he says, well, I'm not going to do it unless you get the old tiles off?
But nobody does it now.
I don't believe... There has to be men out there who'll take tiles off.
Yeah.
There has to be.
I know.
Eh?
Well, it's not a problem getting the tile off. It's the stuff they use to put on the wall.
Well, Damien said if you use hot water and soda crystals.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I thought that
I mean,
for
that's
stars.
like-
No, that's for stars in your eyes.
But what if you were to get it? What if you were getting a driveway in? A concrete driveway in, and the man said to you, well, I want you to dig all the old stuff out before I come up and do it. You know what I mean? Or you're getting the fence up and the man says, I want you to dig holes and put the posts in first before I come up and put the rest of the fence up. Well, what sort of tradesmen are they? I mean, Jerry, you and I worked in the building game.
But you see,
Yes,
they're,
indeed.
they're
we did
outside
indeed,
workers. They're different.
Hey!
A man doing a job inside a house won't do things like that.
So there's a man sitting in there, look, and modesty forbids him for telling the story about nearly being burnt to death in Manchester on a building site.
Yes, I was so assiduous in my eagerness to please that I almost was immolated and incinerated by a raging inferno that broke out in the cellar in which I was working as hard as I could. I almost gave my life to the building trade. And I regard that as being scant recompense when I hear that some of my fellow colleagues won't even move your stuff. And I think if I'm prepared to give my life, Sean, will a man not move a woman's table?
No, there you are.
Jerry,
There you
that
are.
was the good old days.
Good old days when men were men and women were glad of it.
Yes.
Kay says...
What about all these people who are supposed to be on the dole because there's no construction work? It's still been fussy.
Well, Kay says, why don't you replaster the wall with a slight skimming of plaster?
I don't like the way this is going. It looks as if it may last for some time. I may have to be rude and interrupt them.
That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah,
Here, listen, I have to go now. Mrs. Parks, maybe perhaps if you could ring Sean later. Maybe, Sean, you could ring Mrs. Parks in your own time.
Well, where do you live, Mrs. Parks? Can you say? And no, so you're looking at a tiler in the Bangor area who'll come in and knock the old tiles off and do a tiling job for you.
And shift your stuff, if necessary.
No.
You don't have to shift the stuff.
Hubby wants to take the old tile off.
It's his fault then. Wasn't he just...
He wants to have that satisfaction.
This is what it's like when Mr. Coyle presents the programme on his own. So, be warned.
You see, that's
right, okay then. Thank you. Mrs. Parks, I hate to be rude now.
Okay, that's fine, Jerry.
Thank you.
Good luck with your marathon.
Thank you.